Well, hello. The last repair pile video I did, part 1 of this series, seems to have gone down a storm, and that's despite me turning off all of the adverts. So I'm not sure why YouTube is pushing it, but it's good, isn't it? Anyway, here we are, part 2. I've got a little bit of bad news. I did promise that we might be looking at some ZX81s, these two, and well, they work. Even though Paul had written dead and bust on these, they do both work. The problem with them is it's really difficult to get ZX81s to tune into modern screens, and so that probably would have manifested as just something that looked like it wasn't working. But before I composite modded them, I did a little bit of a hack to get a composite signal out of them, a very dark one, just to verify that they were working. They're both working fine. I then composite modded both of them, checked out the keyboards, which were working fine as well. So these are good. I also said we might look at this toast rack, which says dead on it. But yeah, this is working as well. It was just working, so did a little bit of TLC on it, and it's all fine. So no, we're not looking at that one. The other 48K that I said that we might look at next time is this issue 1, and this one works as well. I didn't really read the label, which says works, but blue tinge to output, and that was just a case of tweaking the pots inside, and that works fine. So not that one either. This +2 grey, so again it says it works, but there, but there was a problem with the power socket. I just replaced the power socket. That wasn't very exciting, so I didn't show that. And I've serviced the tape deck on it as well. There's another +2 grey here that I serviced the tape deck on that, and this +2A serviced the tape deck on that, and it works. So bit dull. Just to catch you up on the 48Ks that I did look at. This one that just needed the composite mod, just got a composite mod. This one that the diagnostics said was IC17 was IC17, replaced that, it's fine, composite modded. This one, composite modded, IC18 bad, fixed, replaced that, so the diagnostic was right on that one as well. And this one, IC16 and IC18 were indicated bad on the diagnostics, replaced those and composite modded, and that one works as well. So all of them were really dull, no content as such. Now I do have a couple of +3s here, but both of these say work. This one says no power light, but that's going to be something silly. Disk drive issues is going to be the belt has perished inside, which happens to all of these. And reset button is just going to be clean the reset button. So that's not going to make a video either. I've ordered some belts. There's 2 of these. I've ordered a bunch of belts for these, and yeah, they all get fixed and sent back to Paul. So I'm afraid that's all of the Sinclair machines really, done and dusted. There's no content to make with those, which happens sometimes. I mean, I could do a repair of every single machine, but it would take forever. I mean, making videos just adds so much more work to the actual repair. So it's not something I really want to do, and I don't think you really want to watch it. But anyway, I hinted at this in the initial, I think it was in the roundup video. I'm not sure if I said in the repair pile video, but this is fixed as well. This had some bad corrosion in the back. Fortunately, all of the battery section is separate from the electronic section in the underside of this. So the corrosion had only stayed in this top bit here, and I replaced the little spring plates in there, and that's fine as well. It's great. There's some really nice little games on here. Galaga is one of my favourites, and Miss Pac-Man is a really good version as well. But this joystick is garbage, really horrible. And the other thing that I brought back was this. This is a gift from Paul. He knows that I like these joysticks. I've got another one. I've got another one here with my label on the bottom. That's all refurbished, but this one is in a really nice condition box as well. So I'm keeping this one in the box, and that's going to go up on my wall. I'm going to put some shelves up there and with some pieces to show off as backdrop for my videos. Thanks, Paul. There is something I wanted to show you that I forgot to show in the roundup video for the charity thing before I get into the repair pile. And this is the mug that was won by Andrew Searle. Up to date donkeys for out of date are asses. This is the special edition mug that Dan at Retrofied commissioned for us so that they could beat my amazing mug in the charity auctions, which really worked out really nicely. The mug that I put in, the More Fun Making It mug, was won by someone. I can't remember who it was. And that mug went for £205, and Paul bid £204.99 because he felt loyal to me that he didn't want the This Week in Retro mug to go for more than my mug. Bless him. But Andrew outbid him. And Andrew felt bad. So he actually said that he wanted Paul to have it. So I was meant to take this round to Paul's the other day. I've got this one for Paul, which is the This Week in Retro special edition mug. So we felt a little bit bad. So I got Dan at Retrofied to make a special edition mug. And here it is. So it's got This Week in Retro with the donkeys, with the jackasses on it, and on one side, and on the other side, it's got Crystal and the More Fun Making It logo and my backdrop. And again, there's only one of these, so this one, thank you Dan, from Retrofied. Whoop. Come on, focus. So this one I'm going to fill with Haribo and as packing material and send back to Andrew because he deserves a mug, and apparently he hasn't got enough mugs. I think that's everything that we need to round up. Oh, there was one more thing that in Sinclair that will need fixing, but this I'm probably going to delve into a bit deeper. It might turn into a video, who knows. Let's get on with some Commodore. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Silver label with a really brown case. But let's leave that till last. Right, let's get all of these off the bench and then I'll bring them back on one at a time. Right, this horrible one here is going to be our first victim. I need a power supply. So I use this power supply, which was built for me by Adam Commodore lad, and I think it's an Amiga 600 brick that he converted into a Commodore 64 power supply. That's my go-to reliable, I know it works power supply. Yeah, let's open it up first. I don't like turning machines on before opening them, so let's do that. Oh, no screw in the middle. And this one's very, very loose. Different size screws as well. I don't think this case is going to be used in the final form of this. We've got an RF shield, so it's likely not messed around with too much. Excellent. Oh, I do like it's nice being back in the Commodore 64 actually. Let's get the keyboard disconnected. Yeah, this case is probably, you know, going to be a spares. All the case clips have gone. The screw posts, the either end have gone. This one in the middle is cracked. And this marbling is irretrievable. It could be sprayed, I suppose, but that needs, I mean, I've got other cases in much better condition than that, so that will be replaced. Let's take it out of here, get this RF shield out of the way. Yeet! Right, so we've got 2 CIAs in the socket, one of the ROMs in a socket, CPU, PLA and SID all socketed. Obviously the VIC will be socketed as well. I will check it because I have had one rattling around inside the can where it's actually just completely come loose. But this one's good. Let's have a look which Vic this is. It's an R1. Fireworks going off outside. It's the 4th of November. No, it's the 5th of November. It's an ideal time to record. Anyway, the fuse looks to be intact. So what was the problem with this one? It says power, no picture. So it's going to be black screen basically. Right, let's get capture going. Yep, black screen, white line on the left-hand side. That's fine. That's good. So this was my diagnostic cartridge, and this had diagnostics and then also 1541 diagnostics with that switch up. And then in this configuration with that switch up and this switch down is dead test, and then another version of dead test. But I now use this one. I haven't got the ROMs on here in quite the right way, but I get normal diagnostics. I get, I think with that off, I get the no RAM check diagnostics. And then I get DES test max and then normal dead test. So let's try this with dead test. Make sure that's switched off. And DES test max. I've got a video coming out soon on this, and I'm not finished making that video yet. And with all of these Commodore 64s here, might have some more data to add to that video. So I've held off of actually finishing making that video. But anyway, let's have a try and see what's going on here. Okay, so this is DES test max, and that's a corrupted display. Let's give dead test a go. Oh, that's not dead test, is it? Well, it could be. Yeah, yellow screen. So on both of them, that's dead test, and that's trying to do flash codes, I think. But this is DES test max, and oh, if I let it run, it might show me something in the border. So I'll give that a chance. No. Right, I'm having a look on the thermal camera. That's the SID is 44 degrees. Oh, one of the CIAs is 54. That's quite hot for a CIA. None of the RAM is looking especially hot, and everything else is fine and dandy. Voltage regulators are nice and warm, so I'll check voltages as well. But the thing to do now, because I don't need the CIAs or this ROM, is pop those out and see if it makes a difference. But this CIA, is it this one? This one was getting hot. Well, not hot. I can't feel the difference between those two. But the thermal camera lit it up. So let's take that out and see. Whoa! I haven't taken that out. The computer is still switched on. Right. Let's try that again. Yeah. Unexpected IRQ. Interesting. Okay, so I've taken the SID out. Oh, still unexpected IRQ. Let's take this ROM out. I've already taken the SID out. Running startup tests. Hello. I need to turn the brightness down on that capture. Still, again, an unexpected IRQ. So we've got one more CIA to take out. Right, the CIA's out now. Looks like it's gonna pass the tests. I think it was at least one bad CIA. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna put the ROM back in. ROM's back in. Yeah, and that's passing those tests again. Let's go to dead test. So I wouldn't have, I don't know, I might not have done it the same way with Dead Test as I did with Des Test Max. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I would have done it the same way. Boom. So I'm just going to pop the SID back in, run that test again to verify if the SID's working, because Dead Test does have a SID test. A little advantage it's got over Des Test Max. So I've got at least one bad CIA, possibly two, and that's a shame because I don't have many spare CIAs. I'm almost certainly, out of these, how many have we got? 3, 6, 7 C64s here. Some of them, well, at least one is going to be scrapped to sacrifice its parts for the others, and we'll find one that's just in a bad way in some way, and is less economically repairable. But I have got other machines here. Actually, I might have some spare CIAs, thinking about them. I've got some boards and things left over, so I'll have to go through those and make sure I've got all the spare parts salvaged from them that I need. But we'll bring this one. This one is going to definitely come back to life. 250407. Yeah, it's a nice machine. It's nice having the PLA and the SID in a socket. This is my stunt C64. I've put one of the bad CIAs in here to test. I've got the my diagnostic set to no RAM check, and when I flick back to capture, I can go straight past the RAM checks and make sure that the CIAs are working. This one appears to be, oh no, one of the CIAs is counting up and the other one isn't. So that's a bad CIA. I think I've sorted the sound issue out now, so let's try that again. This is my machine with all its chips in, and we should get sound, but I can't hear it. So I'm trying the other CIA now. Yeah, that's nothing there. Right, so that's that yellow screen. That's interesting. This is on Dead Test now. Let's go to Des Test. Yeah, look, that's really struggling. That's a bad CIA. Okay, so that one is bad. And I think this one is bad as well. So I've put an M on this one for marginal, as well as the cross. And I don't think it's ever going to be useful, but you never might get really desperate one day. This is machine number one. I might come back to this one at some point and pop. If one of the other machines has got socketed CIAs, I will take them out of there, put 2 CIAs in here, and just run the full diagnostics on that. But we'll get back to that. 2 bad CIAs. I haven't tested the SID chip, but we'll get back to that as well. I can always put a SID kick Pico in these. This is machine number 1. We shall call this one Scabby. This one could end up being the parts machine. Right, totally at random. No picture needs SID but power. Like we've got case clips. Oh, and a metal RF shield. These things are junk. that's not even touching. It's touching that one that's in a socket, that ROM chip there. It's not touching the CIAs. It's not touching, what is that, the CPU, the PLA and the SID. There's an air gap between all of them. It is touching the VIC, but just complete junk. It's not even got any thermal compound on anything apart from that bit and that bit. So yeah, the SID had some on but nothing, and the SID and the VIC2 had some on but nothing else. So, oh, what's that? Got a weird bit of capped on tape under there. Oh, I might have to sort that out. Why is... It's like someone's used too long a socket and they've squashed it onto this capacitor. See that? Right, what else are we looking at? The fuse looks intact. It's a bit dusty, but not too bad. Oh, I've got a few more screws. That ROM has been socketed, so that has gone in the past. Everything else looks okay. 250425. We've got O-key memory, no MOS logic chips that I can see. No, oh, very dusty over here. A MOS PLA, and this poor job here. What have they done with the extra legs? Have they just snipped them off, or I don't know. Does not fill me with confidence. Let's plug it in. See what happens. And nothing. First port of call is voltage. So we've got 5 volts coming out of there. Oh. The PLA is getting quite toasty. Everything else looks okay. That is 55 degrees on. Which one was it? On the SID. But yeah, the PLA is up to 70 degrees. Probably Brock. Okay, let's take PLA out of my stunt C64. Yeah. Right, so we've got a display now. We have a black screen. Right, so that line shows that we've got at least a computer that's running and displaying an image. So now I'm going to stick the Des Test Max cartridge in and try that. Oh, nothing. All right, this one's a more serious problem. I'm going to take that ROM out. I'm definitely going to replace this this socket, whatever happens. Let's get the SID out just in case it's gone pop. Yeah, not the SID. This one is a bit more of a challenge. What I don't like is this. And I might just, before I do anything else, take that out, because I don't know what's happening under here. I don't know why they would put that socket on top of that capacitor. I'll take a photo. I don't think it's causing too many problems, because even if that pin was a problem, it's not connected to anything else, even if it was actually pressing on there. But I don't know, I don't like it. I've got sockets the right size, so I'm going to put them in. Anyway, I need to take a small break here, and I will be right back. I had a little break. I had a couple of days break, and in the meantime I took out the socket that was too big by by 4 extra pins, and you can see, there we go, that it has, they just bent the pins over at the end. I think you could probably safely, well, the best thing to do would have been to actually just pull the pins out and then put that in. You could chop the end off, but then you're going to lose a bit of the bracing. But anyway, I've replaced it here, and there was no damage or anything. It wasn't causing an issue. And then off camera, I decided to have a look at the obvious things first. So the obvious things being, check the clock and check the reset circuit. If you haven't got a clock and you haven't got reset, then your computer is not going to work. So let's have a look at the clock first. So you can see here, there's a nice 1 megahertz clock there. And then the next pin up, that was pin 39 on the CPU. The next pin up is pin 40, and this is the reset circuit. It should stay low for a second and then go high. I'm going to switch it on. 3, 2, 1, now. It immediately goes high. Do that again. 3, 2, 1. You can see the LED on the Des Test Max lighting up, so you can see that it's immediately just going straight to high. So we haven't got a good reset, and the reset circuit is controlled over here. There's a 7406 chip here in U8, and in U20 is a 556 timer. Half of the it's 2555 timers. Half of it creates the NMI signal for the rest of the board, and half of it is to do with the reset circuit. So the half that is to do with the reset circuit is I've printed out here off of the schematics, and I'm not an expert on this, and I would encourage you to go and watch Matt from RetroBits TV, who's just done a repair video for a couple of C64s, and one has a reset timer issue, and he explains the circuit much better, and in fact helped me understand it a bit better. But so here we've got the 7406 is here, and it only uses part of it. A 7406 is a hex inverter, so it will take a signal in, a low or a high signal, and then output it opposite. It will just invert it. The signal coming in on pin 9 goes high and then goes low, and that's normal. That's how the reset circuit is working. So this chip here is working as it should be, because this part of the circuit feeds this, and then the inverter, which is on pin 8, should do the opposite. So the reset circuit, you want it to stay low and then go high. So pin 9 is actually going high and then going low. So pin 8, which is the opposite, should stay low and then go high, but it immediately goes high. Before I got to these, and I've actually taken both of these chips out and socketed them, so to make this easier to diagnose, I did check. There's a couple of caps down here. There's the ceramic cap here at C24, and another one, no, sorry, C34 is the ceramic cap, which is this one here on the schematic, and C24 is an electrolytic cap, and these are part of that circuit, and they need to be in good condition. So I did check those to make sure that they were working. The electrolytic especially can be a failure point, because electrolytic caps are old, and I still haven't had a bad cap on a C64, so I'm yet to bust that cherry. But they were okay. I took these out, socketed them, and so I've got my test board here, which we will just check to make sure it works. And there we go, we've got a nice picture. And put the suspected bad chip in here and try that. Switch it on, black screen. Pin 8 is actually pin 9 is the input, does what it's supposed to. Pin 8 just goes high. Let's have a look at the working chip. So pin 9, as you'd expect, same, but pin 8 should do the opposite. Perfect. All right, let's pop that back out of there, and then we'll put this one in the faulty board and see if that fixes it. Right, with that in there, what do we get? This is with Des Test Max. Yeah. So I've still missing, I've not replaced the ROM yet. So I should put that back in. If this passes, I'll put that back in and run the standard diagnostics. Lovely. Yeah, that's all passed. Right, let's do a full test with the SID in and the harness. Right, so with the full harness connected, the SID is now installed. Let's go back to capture and turn it on. Skip all of that. Boo. Looks like the SID is bad. Let's put a test SID in. So we've got the control port okay this time, and yeah, it's testing the SID. That's okay. So what I'll do is I'll build up a SID kick Pico and put that in there, and this is a fully working machine. I wasn't expecting to repair the computers as I went along. I was expecting like the Spectrums to just diagnose them and then repair them off camera, but this one I did some of it off camera, but it ended up being, yeah, a worthy way of spending the time. So where are we on this one? We've got a 7406 that's bad. The PLA was bad and the SID was bad, and on the first machine the CIAs were both bad. So all I've got to do is replace the PLA, replace the SID. I've already replaced the 7406. In fact, I know I need to salvage one from somewhere else. This is from my test machine. So this needs a 7406 and a PLA and a SID. And that will bring this back to full working order. I'll still need to check the keyboard to make sure that works, but I can do that once everything else is done. But the way I like to leave these is with a note on here, so I know that it's got a full diag pass, and what I changed: bad SID, PLA, and 7406. That's what it needs. Check keyboard. Okay. Oh, and this is machine number 2. So later on I'll come back and build up the Gal PLA and the SID kick Pico, salvage a 7406 from one of my scrap boards, and then test the keyboard, and this will be good to go. Actually, this is the one from the bad case, isn't it? From the horrible case. Oh no, this is not a bad case, and it's got the clips intact. So this will make a decent little machine once the keyboard's cleaned up and ready to go. Right, that's 2 of the 7 done. I'm going to leave it there for this episode, and we'll come back and visit the other ones in the next one. I'm off to Cambridge on Saturday. It's Thursday now, so this video should be out in time. But if you come along, come and say hello. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.